Why are Christians so pushy about marriage if Jesus Christ wasn't married? I love that question. Yeah, our church has this Q&A Sunday, and someone asked that, Pastor, why are Christian people always pushing dating and marriage? If you actually open the Bible and some of its biggest characters, like Jesus, God in human flesh, wasn't married. I love that question because I think here's the answer. We are more shaped to the pattern of the present world than we think. Especially those of us who are Bible-believing Christians, who think this is like the inspired, error-free Word of God. This is our guide. Human traditions are traditions. This is Christian doctrine given to us by God himself. That's my conviction. Maybe it's yours too. But man, it is really difficult to hold the line and not let the pattern of the way that most people think infect what we assume that God thinks too. This is true with dating and marriage. Well, why is it that even like devoutly Christian families, when a single person comes home from college, there's pressure? Did you meet anyone? Are you seeing anyone? When are you going to get married? Why wouldn't the assumption be, hey, do you have the gift of Paul? Are you following in the footsteps of Jesus? No, it's like we assume, we lean that marriage and family and kids are going to be for everyone. Why would we do that? And I think the answer is because we've been shaped for multiple generations on the doctrine of Disney, on finding your soulmate, on reading your Prince Charming, of living happily ever after. We've taken a really good thing. I mean, marriage and children are very good things from a good God, but we've exalted it to be the thing. We've taken one form of love, romantic or sexual love, and kind of acted like it's a necessary form of love. But the Bible speaks about all kinds of love, of agape, selfless love, of brotherly love, that Philadelphia. When we exalt one above the other, when we assume it and make it necessary, we run into all kinds of problems. I think about this a lot when it comes to sexuality. This probably deserves a longer video, but you may or may not know that the Bible's teaching of sexuality limits romantic and sexual connection to heterosexual relationships. You can look that up in Romans chapter 1 or 1 Corinthians chapter 6, for example. But that teaching leaves a lot of people confused and frustrated because they say, well, if I can't have that, or if my son or my best friend can't get married and have children, then what? And it kind of feels like they're being robbed of the best things of all. Like, why would only straight people get the best blessings of God? And we just say to these people, no, you can't. It feels like we're robbing from them a good, abundant life. But I got to tell you, as a Bible-believing Christian, that thinking is messed up. Is it a sacrifice to follow Jesus, to submit your sexuality to him? For sure it is. And I don't want to minimize that for any of you who are listening. But is God robbing any follower of Jesus of the best kind of life? And the answer is no. Because the best kind of life isn't a wedding ring. It's not grandkids. It's not holding a son in your arms or pushing your daughter in a stroller. The best kind of love is God. There are many ways to serve God, and not just family. There's many ways to experience love, and it's not just through marriage. The Apostle Paul says this in 1 Corinthians 7. If this is a struggle for you, you need to read it. He actually says, I wish that all of you were as I am. He means single. But each of you has your own gift from God. One has this gift and another has that. But Paul doesn't assume that all the Corinthians and all Christians should be married. He actually wishes that more of them were content in their singleness like he was. I think, friends, we need to get back to that. I think we need to ditch the soulmate mentality and let marriage and family be one of many of the good gifts, one of the many ways that we could give or receive love. I think we need to exalt God and only God to his rightful place as the one thing needed. It's going to help us in our conversations about sexual orientation and Christianity. It's going to take the pressure off of single Christians feeling like they need to find someone because that's what all their friends and family are telling them. It's going to get back to the actual teaching of the Bible. Take some time and meditate on 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Let its words and Paul's own example seep deep into your spirit. As a dad, I'm trying to learn that lesson. For me, being married to Kim and raising Brooklyn and Maya has been one of the greater joys of my life. Not the greatest, that belongs to Jesus. And when I'm talking to my kids as they're getting older, thinking about maybe dating, is marriage, am I going to be a grandpa who gets a cool like grandpa nickname? I've had to train myself not to say, hey, when you get married or when you have your first kid, here's what you're going to, I say if, not when, but if you ever get married, but you don't have to. If you had a wedding day, what would you want it to be like? But I'm not saying you need to. I'm trying to get back to that biblical example that Paul sets for us in 1 Corinthians chapter 7. There are many good gifts. Marriage and family are one of them. But let's let those gifts be gifts and not let them turn into gods. Marriage is a good thing, but if it becomes a God thing, that's a really bad thing. Let's let God be God and a full, abundant, joyful life be found in Him alone. Hey, thanks for catching this episode of Ask Pastor Mike. Make sure to like, comment, share, and follow Time of Grace on whatever platform you're using so you can see more content just like this. And if you have any questions you'd like to see addressed in a future episode, please send it to us. You can write us questions@timeofgrace.org. I'll see you next time.